everybody, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you new here, hello, my name is Skylar. I'm a certified dog trainer and pet nutritionist. Today you are joining me from the floor of my dining room, and this is all a bookshelf full of dog stuff, whether it be supplements, treats, toys, grooming supplies, gear, all sorts of stuff back here that needs to be gone through. I thought it would be very interesting for you guys to kind of see what I have in my rotation, things that I like, things that I maybe bought and didn't like as much, and essentially just make a giant review video while I organized my stuff. And in the sake of transparency, I will let you know if things were gifted or sponsored or if I bought them on my own. With that said, let's get into this mess. To start, I cleared up the very top of this bookshelf. We have the Earth Bath ear wipes. These are probably not the most effective ear cleaner in the world, but they are really, really nice because they're convenient. So times when the dogs don't need like a full, deeper clean, and we notice just a little bit of buildup, this can be a nice kind of compromise. So we're keeping this. I also have the jumbo box of Earth rated poop bag. These obviously keeping, there's a reason we get the jumbo box. Between my own dogs and dogs that I work with, I go through a lot of poop bags. The Earth rated ones have been my favorite. They just recently changed the packaging, and I think they also changed the way they make their bags, like whatever material it's made from, but they are biodegradable. So over time they break down. They do also make compostable ones. I know that they did in the past with their kind of rebrand. I don't know if they're still doing compostable. Those ones break down even faster. I'm a big fan of the Earth rated ones. Those are the ones that I definitely prefer and the ones that I've been using the longest. Next I have a couple of combs that quite honestly really need to be cleaned, so I'll set these off to the side. This one is a little flea comb, and actually somewhere in one of these baskets is the compartment that it comes with. Actually like a little rectangle thing, and this just slots right into it, so it's really, really handy, especially for throwing in a bag or throwing in a container. And again, this one needs to be cleaned, but this is one of my absolute favorite combs. It's just a little metal comb. It has a wider tooth section and a smaller tooth section. And if you have a dog that requires grooming, getting a metal comb, like I'd get a this size one, and they also make a bigger one. One of my very good friends is a groomer, and this is what she recommends to all of her clients, especially ones where you're having to work through mats or tangles or burrs or anything, because these combs are what actually gets out the issues. A lot of people use slicker brushes, which are great for fluffing and kind of finishing touches, but they don't work super well for getting the mats and tangles out. Keeping both of those, there's a reason they were within easy access up top. The last things that I had up there were some enrichment toys. This is the Kong Wobbler, and it has been heavily loved. There's a lot of teeth marks. In fact, Misty is over here staring at me from afar as I do this. I love this thing. It's one of the easier kind of treat dispenser toys. It unscrews from the bottom, and you can fill it up with treats or kibble or kind of whatever. And then as they bat it around like a Weebles Wobble, it comes out of the hole in the middle here. This is a nice kind of introductory treat ball toy. It's not the hardest by any means, but it's easy to fill up, which is always nice. And it's great for older dogs or dogs that get frustrated easy. Then I have the Star Mark one, and again, very loved, full of hair and teeth marks and could use a good cleaning. But this one is trickier than the Kong Wobbler. This one has unscrews at the top, then has a shallow chamber here with an opening, and you can adjust how big this opening is for different size treats or for difficulty. And then they drop into this bigger chamber where they rattle around, and then they have to get them through this little door here. There's a lot of ways to make this one easier or more difficult, which I really, really love. So if you have a puppy or a younger dog, or any dog really that you're getting into enrichment toys, and you want to start easy so they don't get frustrated, but you also know they're gonna figure it out easily and quickly and be ready to progress, this is a really good one. With my dogs at this point, I'll usually put a little bit in the bigger container and then close the door up top a little bit, put some more up in this shallow container, and then I've gotten to the point where I can close this door fully, and my dogs will kind of with their nail scratch it open, and then as they roll it around with their nose, it empties. Up next, I have a couple like little pocket bowls. These two are from the brand Stella & Chewy's. I got them as a promotional material, probably from working in partnership with a local pet store, which happens sometimes. And then a little Sojo's collapsible bowl as well. Again, probably a promo thing from working an event where they had a Sojo's rep doing whatever. These are great. I love collecting these because it's easy to throw them in your car. which is really helpful when we go on hikes. That way we can fill up water for the dogs. Helpful to throw into a backpack, a purse. They collapse super low. Even if you don't need them, they're also nice for when you're out and about and you see someone with a dog that looks a little thirsty. You can offer them something. Next, I have this urinary and kidney relief supplement. About halfway full still, and quite honestly, I don't remember too much how I liked this. It was a year or so ago and expired, so I should get rid of this. This urinary and kidney relief is not a medication. We got it when Misty, my husky, was going through she has a lot of chronic illnesses, and one of them is related to this. So we tried to get this to help her out. She was also seeking a lot of vet care, and we were doing a lot of experimental tests and getting as much information as we could. So I'm not sure how much this really affected things. Next, we have a silicone toothbrush and some toothpaste. This toothbrush, I have no idea what the brand is, but I do like that, yes, it's a silicone finger toothbrush, but it has a little thing for your palm, so it's easier to hold on to and keep on your finger and a little bit more ergonomic that way. It might not be the best toothbrush in the world, but it's one of many that we have probably in here and gets the job done. Next, I have this toothpaste. It's a vanilla mint flavored pet toothpaste. Doesn't look like it is an enzymatic toothpaste. I definitely prefer enzymatic toothpastes because they help you do a lot of the job of brushing the teeth for you. This was probably from pet store days. My partner and I, we have a combined like 15-ish years working in pet retail, specifically from like a managing, ordering, education side of things. So this is probably either a sample or something that they had that he picked up at some point. We're gonna use it till it's gone because it's fine. I don't know if it's something that I would repurchase and recommend. Sweet potato CBD freeze-dried treat. These were sent to me as a sample, and I remember having some questions about it, so I didn't share it with you guys at the time. It advertises 6,000 milligrams of CBD, which is either a printing error, it's 6,000 milligrams of like broad spectrum where not everything is CBD, or it's just a ton of CBD in these little sweet potato squares. Either way, it's not like it's gonna cause harm. If it's full spectrum and not all of it is like the medicinal CBD aspect of it, and if it really is just a heck ton of CBD within these guys, you can't overdose your dog on CBD. I do use these occasionally. I feed them. I usually will add it onto like a lick mat or something if it's 4th of July, New Year's, that kind of thing. I don't remember off the top of my head. I asked clarifying questions and I don't remember what those answers were. This next one is one of my all-time favorite products. Like, I love this thing. It's the Super Snouts Rad Pad. It's a paw balm, but they also advertise it for minor wounds and hot spots. And I do use this for my dog's paws. I do use it for their noses, but I actually first bought it because Luna, my lab, had a traumatic foxtail related head injury. I'll leave that video where I explain it up above because it was intense. She had to have her head shaved, she had drainage tubes put into her head, and there was a lot of scarring and a lot of craziness going on. There was no guarantee that her hair would come back. It was a lot. I put some of this on the wound once it was safe to do so. All her hair came back and you can't really see the scars at all. Are those two things related? Maybe not. There is a lot to be said about keeping an area moisturized once it's safe to do so during the healing process. That's kind of what I was going with this, but it worked really, really well. Then it's also just nice for paw pads. I have another paw balm around here somewhere, but this is my favorite of the two because it's also super pliable. The other one's a little harder wax, and this one is still a wax, so it's not gonna like goop out everywhere. But it softens up in your hands a lot easier. This is a Soggy Doggy shower chamois. There's a couple other brands that do something similar, but the whole point of this is that all the little fingers give more surface area so it dries your dog faster. Honestly, this doesn't look super used, and that's because it's probably not super used. We usually, if we're gonna wash our dogs, we'll go to a local pet store that has like a self-wash where they have towels and they have the big blower. It's just a lot easier for us. It's a lot harder to do it on our own in our house. People who do wash their dogs, I really do like these. They are better than regular towels because they do have extra surface area. And honestly, if my dogs weren't as good with like the air blower as they are, I would probably take this with me to the store when we do those self-washes, because it would just be a lot easier. Then you'd have to do the laundry yourself. It's a real based on your situation thing. I don't think I would repurchase this for my life. If you bathe your own dogs at home, make rugs out of this material, and that's what I would recommend getting. Like, this is cool. This is like not flat. It's like, so you have your hands like this, but they make rugs out of this, and that's really, really nice for if you live in a wet or muddy area to keep by the door, because again, surface area absorbs things better, and it also catches like dirt and mud a lot better than something totally flat. I would recommend this for you if this is going to be helpful for you. I don't think that I would repurchase this for myself. I've got a million different deodorizing sprays. 15 plus years working in and around pet stores, so we collect a lot of things, especially since we both love to test new things. So anytime something new comes in, it's probably gonna get bought and tested on our dogs. 3 of these are from the brand Earth Bath, and 1 of these is by the brand Scout's Honor. And the differences between these really depend on what you're wanting out of a deodorizing spray. The Earth Bath ones, I have Mango Tango, Vanilla and Almond. I have 2 Vanilla and Almonds. The Mango Tango is my favorite out of these scents. And these ones advertise they deodorize, they condition, and they help to detangle the hair. These ones I would say purely if you have a stinkier dog, you don't want to give them a bath all the time, but they do have a little funk to them. If it's an environmental factor, like they go outside all the time and just pick up scents from outside that you don't like, great. If it's like a constant smell, especially if it's a little corn chippy, I'd definitely look into the reason why they have that smell. Probably food related, and you can use this to supplement that while you figure it out, but I would not use this as a quick fix. These ones, they have a lot more scent options, and they do not necessarily smell better, but they have a stronger scent, a more prevalent scent. The Scout's Honor one is a probiotic deodorizer, so this one has active probiotics mixed in with it. It also has avocado oil, so that can help to condition and deodorize as well. These ones come in more like subtle scents. This one's honeysuckle. I know that they have a lavender, and I want to say they have an unscented. These ones, because it has the probiotics, the whole point or idea behind it is that it helps to nourish the beneficial bacteria on the surface of the skin. If you're using it for the smell, and if there's an underlying reason for the smell, I would look into the underlying reason first. Honestly, I don't really use these ever. They're kind of just taking up space, so I might see if any friends and family want them. They're just taking up a decent amount of space in this little bucket here. Nail clippers. These ones are from the brand JW, so they're a little bit cheaper than Safari does the green ones, I think. These ones are the larger nail clippers, and I really like these because they have this little, can you see that? They have this little thing on the back of them. And this makes it harder to accidentally quick your animal. Basically, if they put their toe in and then move, their toenail can only go in so far. It makes it less likely that you're gonna quick, which is like getting the blood vessel inside the nail. Doesn't make it impossible, so you should still go slow and be careful. These ones, the guillotine clippers, are some of my favorites. I make other styles of clippers, and I might have one floating around here somewhere, that only have a blade on one side or put uneven pressure on the nail. So instead of cutting straight through it, it kind of crushes the nail against a non-sharp thing. It puts more pressure on the nail, it makes it more uncomfortable, whereas this one has blades on both sides, so it cuts it from both sides. Probably still not a fantastic experience if your dog doesn't like getting their nails done, but definitely a nicer one than some of the others. Looks like I have an earth-rated poop bag dispenser floating around in the grooming bucket. This is a fine poop bag dispenser. It's probably not my favorite, just because I've found the ones that dangle too much can get in the way. I had this one on my leash for a very long time. It also has a little hook where you could, in theory, put a used poop bag so you don't have to carry it in your hand. But I also find that that isn't the most effective for me. I do have large dogs. That does affect things a little bit. It's fine. It's nothing too special. It works. One of like 7 flea combs that I own, even though, knock on wood, we've never had to deal with fleas. This is from the brand Magic Coat. It has a nice handle. I don't think I've ever used this one, and I don't know if we need this many, so I might be gifting this to somebody in my life that could actually use it. This is the flea comb thing that I was talking about earlier. You saw the finer comb half, the thicker comb half, and this, it just like slides right in. Helps to keep everything together. And I'm gonna keep this because this is honestly, if we're gonna reach for a flea comb or a fine-toothed comb, this is the one we reach for. Does it take up probably more space than the alternative, which does the same thing? Yes. If I didn't like both, I would probably just keep this one, especially if I was short on space in my kit. But I like both. It's nice to have both. We have this JW slicker brush. This is what I was talking about. Combs is what you want when you're actually like grooming your dog. This is nice for taking out some of the fluff and especially like fluffing them up after a bath, making it look finished. I need to clean it. The running theme of this video seems to be I need to go through and deep clean my supplies, and that's part of the reason why we're doing this. This is a JW slicker brush. Honestly, it's just a slicker brush, and I think I have a few others floating around. So if that is the case, I'm probably going to donate this one because it's bulky. It's honestly not really ergonomic in my hand. I don't know if my hand is too big or too small for what this is supposed to feel like, but it's not my favorite. Another slicker brush. This one is from the brand Safari, and I do prefer this one. It's still a little on the big side, but it fits better in my hand, and it has the little button in the back, which pushes this plastic part forward. So once you have this full of hair, it's a lot easier to clean, which is why this one is a lot cleaner. Not like the end-all be-all grooming tool, but nice to have, and I really only need one, so I'm gonna be keeping this one. Look at this poor brush. I got this when Luna was a puppy, like a little baby puppy. Kong Zoom Groom. These are fine. A lot of people will use these when they're giving their dogs a bath, which is fine. It can help work in the shampoo. You can also use your fingers for that. It helps to collect hair, and the hair kind of gets wrapped around these tongs. I think the most use I got out of this was as a chew toy. I've not reached for it since, and I think that its time has probably been gone. It's not so destroyed that I can't, you know, it still has purpose, but I don't think it needs to have its purpose with my stuff. And finally, in the grooming bucket, I have an Earth Bath Dirty Dog shampoo in sweet orange oil. Decreases and removes stains. I don't know why we have this. We don't use this. I don't know how long this has been here. Feels like it was maybe used once or twice at some point. We do wash our dogs. There is a shampoo company local to us for pets that uses emu oil. That's what they use at the self-wash that we usually go to, and I just really like that stuff. I think it smells good and it has good ingredients in it. Not that this doesn't have good ingredients, but that's just what we use. There's really not much reason to hang on to this one. Yeah, I don't even like really care for the smell either, personally. It doesn't smell very orangey. It doesn't smell very citrusy. It doesn't, I mean, like, I don't know, I can't place what it smells like. Okay, I'm actually gonna stop it here. We've been filming for a long time and I still have a lot of stuff to go. So we are gonna do a part 2 to this video. Stay tuned, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. If you would like to see more videos like this, I still have a ton of other places in my house that need to be organized, including my back office where I normally film. If you would like to see more of the things that I have for my dogs, let me know. And if you saw anything in this video that you want me to speak more about, go in more detail about, you know, any categories of things that you have questions about, let me know those too, because I'd be happy to go more in depth about some of these things and what I think. Again, be sure to subscribe so that you catch part 2, and I'll see you then. Bye!